having one in your home.
While relations between some communities and with police have improved, problems remain, such as economic disparity. South LA residents make less than half the per capita income that the rest of Angelenos make, or less than $14,000 a year.
So today, where are we 25 years later? In some ways, a much better and richer and stronger city, more resilient. There's more understanding between communities. Our police department is a different reflection of the city. But as Pastor Boyd said, economically, we still have a long way to go.
As city leaders struggle with fighting inequality, they have something to celebrate: the joining of hands by two different communities so at odds during the riots. I'm Anna Marcos for LA This Week.
63 people died during the 1992 riots. Well, local leaders and community groups also commemorated the riots by talking about how lessons learned from the past can help pave a brighter future for the city. Rasha Goel has more.
Most of us will never forget these images. The aftermath of the 1992 riots after 4 police officers were acquitted in the beating of Rodney King Jr. 25 years later, at an event put on by LA County Supervisor Mark Ridley Thomas and the Empowerment Congress, Mayor Eric Garcetti joined others in remembering one of the most disturbing occurrences in the city's history.
To think about where we have been, where we are, and where we must go.
Los Angeles. Do you remember the sounds of our worlds collapsing in exhaustion when we were no longer Hollywood enough to glamorize oppression? When the melting pot simmered over and burned everything it touched, when the town of heart-stretching arts and culture painted sidewalks with blood and ash.
The goal of this discussion was to offer possible solutions and growth opportunities to help South Los Angeles and to ensure a similar situation doesn't happen again.
I think that more of our conversation is about what do we do about the economy in this area.
What we need to look at, I think, going forward is how we make structural changes so that we don't continue this cycle of human behavior and tragedy that's gone on through 3 of these now in Los Angeles, 65, 92, and, we're due in a couple of years maybe if we go at this rate.
This short video shows the changes from the burning streets to prosperity in the 25 years. However, challenges still remain.
Many of the projects in and around commercial centers targeted for destruction in 1992 created thousands of jobs in recent years and will continue to do so.
Officials hope, despite racial profiling, excessive use of force, and other abuses that continue to exist, perhaps discussions such as this one will help open a door for economic prosperity and further growth in this area. I'm Rasha Goel for LA This Week.
The Empowerment Congress promotes partnerships between the community and elected officials. Well, it was billed as LA's largest May Day march since a violent demonstration in MacArthur Park 10 years ago. Would LAPD be able to handle things? Well, Gil Reyes has more from LA's first May Day rally since President Trump took office.
Things got patriotic when downtown demonstrators marched on May Day.
It's a day when we celebrate and honor workers' contributions, but we also honor immigrant contributions. And under this administration, not only our immigrant families, but a lot of other communities are under threat.
Hanging over like a dark cloud, President Trump. His plans to deport undocumented immigrants, threatening much of LA's low-wage workforce. Many of those workers marching today. Their message, resist.
Everyone needs to respect workers, respect immigrants, respect the contributions we make to this country. Today is our day. These are our streets.
The demonstration was mostly peaceful. Minority, labor, LGBT, and women's rights groups marching together. More than 100 organizations marched to City Hall, where things got heated between Trump and anti-Trump supporters. LAPD stepping in the middle to prevent any real violence. Mayor Eric Garcetti renewed his pledge not to use city resources like LAPD to deport people. The mayor says here in Los Angeles, All people are welcome.
You can come here from Mexico. You can come here from Europe, from Africa. You can love whoever you love. You can be whatever you want to be. You can worship God however you want or not at all. Los Angeles, we define you by what's in your heart.
We need to stand up and send a message to the rest of America that says, ahora estamos juntos. Now we are together.
In downtown Los Angeles, I'm Gil Reyes for LA This Week.
An estimated 30,000 people showed up. Police made few arrests. Chief Charlie Beck says speaking with the various groups and setting the ground rules months before the event helped to prevent any major problems. Well, turning now to Boyle Heights, where a May Day march there targeted both the U.S. administration and the LAPD. Ana Marcos has more.
It's clear from the banners that for this group of protesters in Boyle Heights, the target for this march is Trump's administration and its anti-immigrant stance.
We're here to demand legalization for all, no to the deportations. We're here to demand equality and respect for Mexicanos, Chicanos, and Centroamericanos, and all immigrants who are facing the racist Trump attack.
I understand the struggles that my mom and my dad went through as being immigrants. I have to show that we will fight back when our community is under attack.
Protesters also have a message for the cops as they march right by the LAPD's Hollenbeck station in Boyle Heights.
We're coming out into the streets today on May Day, International Workers' Day, to come out and say that no more killings by LAPD. We are also here because the majority of our community is undocumented. A lot of them are immigrants. We want to make sure that Trump knows and understands that Boyle Heights is united against deportations.
But the marchers demand more than just a stop to deportations. They want legalization for undocumented immigrants now.
My father was deported when I was only 12 years old, and at that young age, I had to face the consequences of growing up without a father by my side.
They are students, teachers, activists, families, and community members, both documented and undocumented. They may not like American immigration policies, but they have adopted one American practice, the right to protest. I'm Ana Marcos for LA This Week.
Thousands of Armenian Angelenos took to the streets to mark the 102nd anniversary of the Armenian genocide. Ana Marcos takes us to the Unified Young Armenians March for Justice.
Little Armenia in the heart of Hollywood. A sea of flags helped mark the Armenian genocide that killed 1.5 million Armenians in Turkey in 1915. The Armenians here may be living the American dream, but they won't easily forget the nightmare they left behind.
We are asking America, we are asking everybody to recognize the genocide that happened. The reason being the genocide happening today in Syria because nobody in 1915 realized the genocide for Armenians. Not only for Armenians, for Greeks, for Turks. Just because we were Christians, just because we are intelligent people, nobody had a right to do this to nation.
And I'm very happy to see a lot of young people because the new generation has to fight for our rights and for our feelings and our memories.
The piles of skulls and skeletons say it all, recorded for history thanks to some of the first cameras of the era. But to this day, it is illegal in Turkey to talk about what happened to the Armenians and other Christians at that time.
1915, never again!
Armenians are here to stay, and we're not going anywhere, and we're just going to continue to populate.
Mayor Eric Garcetti and other government leaders took to the streets with their Armenian fellow citizens.
Los Angeles' diversity is its greatest strength, but so is its moral voice, especially in these times when we see walls being proposed and people being excluded because of their religion. It's even more important to do.
We refuse to stand down and deny history. And if we deny genocide anywhere, we deny genocide everywhere.
Some would like to see not only apologies, but reparations from Turkey for what the Armenians suffered. But for now, honoring the history of their mothers and fathers and keeping their memory alive is reason enough to march. I'm Ana Marcos for LA This Week.
More than 100,000 attended the LA March. While turning now to making LAX run more efficiently, but with that comes some massive work. Rasha Goel has more on the temporary changes that officials hope will help make LAX the gold standard of travel.
A total of 28 airlines were involved in this move, which took place over a 5-day period. This has been the largest terminal relocation in the history of LAX.
We're going to move airlines between terminals 5 and 6 and 2 and 3.
Over 3,000 pieces of IT devices have actually been deployed or moved already in preparing for this. 1 million square feet has actually been touched with construction to prepare for the relocation and the moves of the airlines.
This is all part of Delta Airlines' planned improvements at the international airport. Delta will spend up to $1.9 billion to modernize and upgrade terminals 2 and 3.
Delta will move from 16 gates and take up 22 gates in Terminals 2 and Terminals 3. In addition, we're going to build dual alley taxiways on the north side. So because those terminals are spread apart further, you can actually get planes in and out simultaneously, which you cannot do on the south side.
Delta will build a connector to the Tom Bradley International Terminal that will help in our efforts to tie all 9 terminals together beyond security screening, something that currently doesn't exist.
These PUPs were just one of the steps that officials took to ensure passengers had a smooth and stress-free experience during the relocation.
You'll see new green neon vans that will exclusively shuttle passengers between terminals 2 and 3 and 5 and 6. There'll be over 500 new wayfinding signs. You'll see surged airport staff working around the clock and dedicated wayfinders who will help get you to the right gate.
Improving the passenger experience has been a top priority at LAX, and with Delta Airlines plans, airport officials say it's a perfect fit for this world-class airport. In Los Angeles, I'm Rasha Goel for LA This Week.
More information can be found at laxishappening.com. Well, can holding hands make a difference in unifying a city? Well, some Angelenos believe it can. Take a look at this Hands Around City Hall event as the city marks 25 years since the court verdict that sparked the LA riots. Anna Marcos has more. Anna.
Yana, it was 25 years ago that the Rodney King verdict came down, which sparked the LA riots. But what a difference 25 years and holding hands makes. The bell in the tower rang close to 60 times, once for each death during the LA riots, as people formed a human hand brigade around the entire block of City Hall. The Hands Around City Hall event, a way to symbolize unity on the 25th anniversary of the LA riots. The trouble erupted after 4 white LAPD officers were found not guilty in the beating of African-American parolee Rodney King.
I'm here because it was unsettling to me. I actually live in South Central. A lot of the riots happen in my neighborhood. If you go to the left, you're going to see a meat market burn. You go to the right, you're going to see a cleaner's burn.
One of my favorite neighborhood restaurants was burned. I can remember the smell of the smoke in the air. I can remember seeing people in the streets and the sense of fear.
City leaders, children, community members from every corner of LA, and lots of city workers, all taking part in the hand-holding exercise. LA has come such a long way, in fact, that the LAPD, who were at the center of the firestorm in 1992, can now hold hands with the very community that once fought them.
It was really cool to think about, like, so many different people coming together and holding hands. It's like the heart of the city.
Because the brief explanation they gave us was that it's to make us feel as one.
Angelenos still have much work to do in tackling the lack of equity and the divisiveness in many neighborhoods. But on this one afternoon, the feeling of being one, of division turned to unity, happened with just the holding of each other's hands. I'm Anna Marcos for LA This Week.
Property damage during the LA riots was estimated at more than $1 billion. More than 11,000 people were arrested. Well, Angelenos are making a social statement with their fashion and letting their jeans do the talking. Rasha Goel has more on an annual event that seeks to spread an important message.
When a survivor tells you their story, listen, believe, and support them.
That's part of the message Claudia Batres Flores is sharing on Denim Day. A sexual assault survivor, she joins many in an annual worldwide rape prevention campaign, which encourages people to stand in solidarity with sexual assault victims by putting on jeans for the day.
This campaign is really important to me because it's a physical manifestation of the support that oftentimes you don't feel as a survivor.
This day was proclaimed in 1992 as a result of an Italian court case in which an 18-year-old was allegedly raped by a driving instructor.
She reported the rape. He was convicted. And years later, the conviction was overturned because the Supreme Court justice said she was wearing tight jeans. He could not have removed them by himself. Therefore, she must have helped him. Therefore, not raped, but consensual sex.
Los Angeles has been participating in Denim Day since 1993.
There is never an excuse for sexual violence. There is never an invitation for rape. Unfortunately, as simple as this message should be, it is not.
I challenge every Angelino to think about places where you don't think it occurs, between people who are in a relationship, between husbands and wives or spouses, in looking at those places where we play sports, those places where we recreate, those places where we work, and those places where we live. It's on our blocks. It's at our workplaces. It's in our families.
Several city entities are working together to ensure victims in Los Angeles have a support system. In 2015, Metro launched a campaign to help people report any incidents of sexual assault. Officials say since then, there has been a decrease in incidents from 22 to 15%.
Our It's Off Limit campaign encouraged our riders to speak up and report any incidents of sexual harassment or sexual violence and to contact our police immediately.
Their message, they say, is clear. Sexual violence is not welcome here. Not in LA, not my campus, not in my locker room, not on my bus. In downtown Los Angeles, I'm Rasha Goel for LA This Week.
Denim Day is held in April every year during Sexual Assault Awareness Month. The Hollywood Chamber shines a spotlight on local businesses, taking a stand in support of the arts and recognizing those who promote parks and open space in the city. All this in City Beat. The Hollywood Chamber of Commerce held its 29th annual Hollywood Expo, a networking event that provides exhibitors an opportunity to showcase their business, and guests get a chance to see what's new in Hollywood. Los Angeles City Councilman Mitch O'Farrell was among the guest speakers, as well as Hollywood Chamber President and CEO LaRon Gubler.
It's a way for businesses to get great exposure for their business, kind of a business-to-business event. And we encourage all the businesses in Hollywood to do business with one another.
Hundreds of arts advocates gathered outside City Hall recently to celebrate Arts Day 2017 and demonstrate the importance of the art community as local, state, and federal agencies are determining arts budgets. Demonstrators dressed in red also attended the LA City Council meeting, where City Council member Mitch O'Farrell presented an arts proclamation. O'Farrell said that art is essential and must be supported. LA Mayor Eric Garcetti spoke at the annual LA Parks Foundation Rose Award Luncheon held at Exposition Park's Rose Garden. The Rose Award was established to recognize women who have made extraordinary contributions to the quality of life in Los Angeles. This year's honoree was Andrea Vandekamp, who throughout her career has been a fundraising pioneer for the city's most important and artistic venues, notably Disney Concert Hall. LA Parks Foundation provides support to the city by raising funds to improve park facilities, enhance park environments, preserve and restore historic elements in our city parks, support sustainability projects, and purchase property for future parkland.
It's a simple goal, but every child, every family, everybody should have a park within walking distance of where they live.
Well, it's time to hit the beach for beach cleanup, that is. Take a free boat tour of the LA Harbor and ride, run, or walk to support safety on the streets. All this in this week's Things to Do. Heal the Bay's beach cleanup is a fantastic opportunity to show your local beach some love. It's easy, fun, and a great way to help keep our beloved beaches clean. Everyone is welcome, so bring your friends or make some new ones. It all takes place on Saturday, May 20th at Toes Beach Tower 41 at 6200 Pacific Avenue. For more, visit healthebay.org. In celebration of World Trade Week, the Port of Los Angeles hosts the Waves and Wheels event at locations in both San Pedro and Wilmington. The free event offers boat tours of Los Angeles Harbor and unique displays of port vehicles and equipment. So grab the whole family for a truly fun adventure on the water. The tours take place Saturday, May 20th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. at Banning's Landing or Downtown Harbor. For more, visit portoflosangeles.org. It's not just an event, it's a movement for safety on the streets of California. Join the movement, be part of the solution. Join cyclists, runners, walkers, and many others to enjoy the beautiful scenery and back roads of Griffith Park. The rides take you on a journey throughout the park and surrounding areas. By participating, you are supporting Streets Are For Everyone, or SAFE, and Walk and Rollers in their combined missions for creating safer, healthier communities by making the streets safer for all users, ending hit-and-run fatalities, and encouraging people of all ages to be more active. The race begins on May 21st at 7 a.m. at Griffith Park. For more, visit finishtheride.org. And that's a look at some things to do. Well, that's going to do it for this edition. I'm Yana Kane from all of us here at LA This Week. Thanks for joining us. A reminder that you can catch us online at lacityview.org. You can also follow and like us on Facebook. We'll see you back here next week for more of LA This Week.
Property theft has spiked in the area the past year due to easy access for thieves. Almost 80% of car theft occurs because of unlocked doors. Locking your doors takes a matter of seconds and can become so routine that you may forget whether you locked your doors or not. But it's worth the effort to double check. The more successful thieves are at taking items out of a car, the more chances they are going to come back to that area. Don't let our town be that area. One simple precaution is to hide or cover any valuable items when leaving your car unattended. Simple actions like these can prevent you from becoming a victim of property theft. The Los Angeles Police Department would like you to remember, lock it or lose it.
Hi, I'm Kevin from Chatsworth, offering you a taste of New Orleans since 1986. You're watching LA City View, Channel 35. Our city, our channel.
welcome everybody to Los Angeles City Hall and your Los Angeles City Council. Today's date is Tuesday, the 16th of May. Madam Clerk, we do have a quorum. Would you call the roll?
Blumenfield, Bonin, Buscaino, Cedillo, Englander, Harris, Dawson, Weezer, Koretz, Krikorian, Martinez, O'Farrell, Price, Rue, Wesson, 10 members present and a quorum, Mr. President.
Thank you very much. First order of business.
Approval of the minutes.
Harris Dawson moves, Buscaino seconds. Next.
Commendatory resolutions for approval.
O'Farrell moves and Mr. Rue seconds. Next.
Mr. President, today is Tuesday, and it is time for the flag salute.
Okay, we'll be led today by Mr. Koretz. Please all rise for our flag salute.
Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Mr. Koretz. Let's run through the agenda.
Mr. President, there is a request to continue item 17 to May 23rd, 2017, and for the record, there is a CAO report submitted and referred to council for that item.
Okay, so without objection, so ordered. Continue.
Items 1 through 12 are items for which public hearings have been held.
Okay, specials. I don't see any. Let's prepare to vote then. Let's open the roll, close the roll, tabulate the vote.
10 ayes.
Thank you. Continue.
Items 13 through 19 are items for which public hearings have not been held. 10 votes are required for consideration.
Okay, so without objection, those items are now before this body. Do you have cards on any of these items?
Yes, Mr. President. There are cards on all items, and also for the record, there is a technical correction for item 18. The resolution number for that item is 017190, sir.
Thank you. Continue.
On the supplemental agenda, item 20 is the item for which public hearing has not been held. 10 votes are required for consideration.
Okay, so without objection, that item is now before this body. I'm assuming we have cards on that item?
Yes, Mr. President, there are cards.
Okay, that brings us where?
Mr. President, that takes council back to presentations, items called special or general public comment.
Okay, I think I'm going to... Miss Martinez, did you want to go? So why don't we turn the Mr. Koretz?
Call item 11 special. I would appreciate it.
So we'll have to ask for reconsideration on that item. So let's vote on reconsideration. Let's open the roll, close the roll, tabulate the vote.
11 ayes.
Okay, so we'll hold that. Okay, Miss Martinez, the floor is yours. Floor is yours.
Is our TV monitors on?
Even though we can't see it, we are. No.
Well, hold on for just a second.
But anyway, we're live.
Okay, we just can't see ourselves.
Okay.
All right, got it. All right, thank you, Mr. President. Good morning, colleagues. It's kind of fitting that we have this presentation today on Election Day, because all of us who've ever run for office know that sometimes campaigns can be a real contact sport. And we sometimes leave a debate or a campaign event feeling a little beat up or bloodied. But my guest today demonstrates that we've got nothing on these professional contact sports champions. We'll see what today's election brings, but for now, I'm still the only woman on the city council. And in this role, you've all heard me talk about the importance of showing women in non-traditional roles, from our women firefighters to when we read the Emily Doe's letter back in July that gave a voice to the victims of sexual violence, to the women who work at City Hall that stood with me a few weeks ago. It is important to see women in non-traditional roles, and my guest today smashes all our expectations. She is a role model that shows that every woman can aim for the top of any profession. Before I formally introduce her, let's see the champion in action in a short video. But at first, before the video gets played, I want to advise any parents with young children who are either watching or in the audience that the video that we're about to see has real fighting and real punching and wrestling and sometimes blood. So I just want to caution anybody who's sensitive to that. They can either leave the chambers or turn off the TV. If the video is ready, can we play it now? Colleagues, I'd like to introduce to you my friend Amanda the Lioness Nunez. Amanda is a reigning UFC featherweight champion. She is the UFC's first Brazilian-born female champion, making her a role model to young Latinas. But she's also the UFC's first openly gay champion. Amanda is a role model for young LGBTQ people. She is breaking stereotypes of what it means to be a lesbian Latina. She is tough, she is driven, she is talented, she is passionate, and she's a leader. Not only is Amanda the UFC featherweight champion, but she's here with her impressive list of accomplishments. Of her 18 fights, 10 have been as a UFC fighter, and she has a record of 8 wins and 2 losses during that time. She has won 13 out of her 14 victories by knockout or submission. She became the first woman to successfully retain the featherweight championship when she defeated Ronda Rousey in December of 2016. Clearly, Amanda is a record breaker and a real champion. And outside the ring, Amanda has a wonderful family. Amanda is joined here by her girlfriend, Nina Anasor. Thank you, Nina, for being here. She's also a UFC fighter. Together, Amanda and Nina plan to open a gym to train more women to compete in the professional sport, particularly compact sports. They are practicing what is so important to all of us, to make sure that they are role modeling for other young girls and putting those girls in that pipeline so they can train the next generation of leaders. And in the spirit of me always saying you can't be what you can't see, I like to welcome some of the young wrestlers from my district who are here this morning to celebrate with Amanda. I want you all to stand up when I call your school's name. Poly High School, are you here? These are our female wrestlers from Poly High School. From Birmingham High School, are you here? There you are. And from Monroe High School, are you here? So these are some of our students that are young wrestlers in some of our LA Unified School District, and they're here to honor our honoree today. Amanda, like me, knows what it takes, what it feels like to be the only woman in a room. She has earned the nickname the Lioness because she was the only girl in the gym at the age of 16 when she started training with mixed martial arts back in Brazil. She used the logo of 2 lions, and the nickname the Lioness stuck with her future as she became the champion. When she's not training or dominating in competition, Amanda enjoys dancing, music, boating, and fishing. But in the ring, she is fierce champion. She competes to win, Colleagues, when a woman reaches the top of her profession, she deserves recognition. And when that woman is a woman of color, a lesbian, she is really shattering all stereotypes and all expectations. So today, I want to recognize her for all of her accomplishments, and I want to declare May 16, 2017, Amanda the Lioness Nunes Day in the city of Los Angeles. Before we present her with a recognition, I want to give Amanda an opportunity to share her story and inspire some of our young girls that are in the audience. I want us to give her a big welcoming and a round of applause to Amanda Nunes.
Welcome.
Thank you so much, everyone. I'm so happy to be here. Thank you so much, Councilor, for this big moment in my career. I'm love to share with you guys. And I want to say thank you all the students here as well. And I'm very happy to be here. Very, very happy. And yeah, I think she's like pretty much tell you guys everything about my life. And my thing is not only be the champion, and my main thing was help, in many, many ways. And becoming a champion make it easy for me when to helping people into in people's houses, through the TVs and everywhere. I think you have a lot of girls that grow up exactly like me and have a lot of trouble, and to talk to mother, the parents, and I always like that as well, and I have to be strong, to go through this. And when I decided to move to U.S., I know it's gonna be easy and I was gonna be powerful moving here. And then when I decided to move to USA and I step in this country, I know my life is gonna change. And did it change? I become a champion, and now I can go to my country and then help a lot of people there as well. And I'm so glad to come to this country, and I'm so glad to be here today, and I'm very happy. Thank you so much, everyone.
I also want to introduce the Vice President of Athletic Development from UFC, Reed Harris.
Welcome. Thank you. On behalf of Dana White, Ari Emanuel, and Patrick Whitesell, and all the staff at the UFC, we are so proud of Amanda. Watching that tape and watching her, I'm emotional. I've seen her go through her whole career, and to be here today is so big for her and for us, and I just want to say thank you so much.
Mr. Bonin, if that's okay.
Sure.
Mr. Bonin.
So, Mr. President, I want to thank Ms. Martinez for doing this presentation. I want to congratulate you. I have been a huge fan of the UFC. My first bout I saw was UFC 69, which was probably 2006 or 7, maybe, and have loved seeing the sport take off. I want to congratulate you with a sense of mixed feelings, because Ronda Rousey trains in Venice, which is in my district. But you did the job. That was an amazing fight. If you blink, you miss it, because you were that much of a killer. So congratulations to you. You are an amazing athlete and a champion and a role model for young women and girls and anybody who wants to be fierce, male or female. So congratulations.
Thank you.
And I, too, Madam Champion, want to welcome you to the council chambers. I think your presence here does a lot where it relates to inspiring not just young ladies, but anybody, to inspire them to follow their dreams. And I really want to thank our dear friend and colleague, Ms. Martinez, for always keeping us focused on the fact that everybody needs the ability or the opportunity to do whatever it is they want to do. And also, Ms. Martinez, I see in the back you have my two little champions with you. Raise your hands. Because these two young champions, wrestlers that are on their way to college. But anyway, let's give the champ, Nunez, another round of applause.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'm getting emotional just seeing you be emotional. And, you know, for those of us who are sometimes the first in our families, I cannot even imagine doing what I do away from my parents or away from my family members. And so the fact that Amanda has traveled so far to reach her dreams and has inspired so many other young women to follow in her footsteps is very, very admirable and inspirational. And so on behalf of the LA City Council, Amanda, we want to declare today, May 16, 2017, as Amanda the Lioness Nunez Day in the city of Los Angeles. Give her a big round of applause.
Let's go to general public comment. Victoria Torres, Joaquin, Gary Wells, Brian Barajas. Yes, ma'am.
Good morning, Council. I'm Victoria Torres from Boyle Heights. I'm here this morning to give you signatures and photos of marijuana dispensaries in our community. I'm speaking also for the children that can't speak. I'm their voice. I'm for the people that are not here today but have signed this petition to remove these dispensaries that are in our community. They are leaving trash behind. You have pictures here to show you, signatures that they want them removed. I have already notified Council District 14 about this issue that we have in the community. We have two federal offices that are in the area of these dispensaries. They're within blocks of schools, child care center. There's a recovery center, and resident and homeowners are disgusted with the smells. This is the only plaza we have in our area, and they are dropping all their things behind.
Thank you.
Thank you.
If I could have the next speaker, please identify yourself.
Yeah, Joaquin Castellanos from the Boyle Heights 14th District. And I'm here just to echo what Victoria says, that the increase of marijuana dispensaries in our neighborhood who are just with the smell that is hurting a lot of kids and a lot of people. So those dispensaries are very close to the businesses that we as a community need to attend, as grocery stores, WIC centers, pharmacies, and all those places are becoming an issue in our community. I'm just here to echo her voice, and please have those places in an area where we can smell so bad in the community. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker, please. Identify yourself.
Gary Wells. This is directed toward Councilmember Bonin, and I have been renting out a room in my house in Mar Vista on a short-term basis through Airbnb for the last year. I am 64 years old. This has completely saved my life. It has helped me to pay my medical insurance bills and medical bills, repair badly needed problems with my house, and generally let me breathe easier. My depression lifted because I didn't have to worry about money every second. It has been a godsend. My neighbors are fine with it. They want me to be able to stay here in my house in this neighborhood. It also brings business to all the shops, restaurants, and grocery stores near me, as I mentioned these places in my welcome letter. Please consider voting against limiting the amount of days I can rent out this room per year. I appreciate your valuable time.
Thank you. Mr. Barajas, Brian?
Okay. Hello. Well, I've been given orders to thank you for at least doing a contract with the Chinese on the train transportation system. Also, I wanted to identify the fact that the LA Times have given a report on the Glass-Steagall Act that Elizabeth Warren wants to work with Donald Trump on shutting down the speculative market in our banking institutions. Now, I handed your leaflet for you to read, Belt and Road Forum, Impact, a Wonderful Change in History. Helga Zepp LaRouche, Lyndon LaRouche's wife, attended this event in China, Beijing, where she gave a keynote address on the second day. What I can say is that Trump sent administrative representatives for the United States, and we should join in that One Belt, One Road, which Lyndon LaRouche initiated.
All right. Let's, Mr. Gus. It's my understanding one of your items has already been voted on. So, general public comment.
Council members, you have some big problems ahead crime-wise in the city of Los Angeles. For Mr. Rue, my new article in City Watch today is about multiple burglaries, mail thefts, and identity thefts in Sherman Oaks. The LAPD has ignored it, and if Mr. Rue doesn't get on it today, I'm going to write an article about Mr. Rue ignoring those rash of burglaries in Sherman Oaks. Miss Martinez, today there is a convicted felon in your district with immediate access to children in an elementary school. He was convicted of aggravated sexual assault against children in your district. If I don't hear from you immediately, the next article is going to be about you and this child molester convicted in one of your schools today. And Mr. Wesson, when I ask for a commanding officer regarding my press pass, you better get one. One has not shown up.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, let's go to we'll go into multiple. Mr. Previn, I see you're standing up. And what do I have on you? 14, 18, 19, 20, and general public comment. Go ahead.
Thank you, sir. It is Eric Previn from CD2. Cute little agenda today, frankly. I like what you're doing here. Item number 5 is the official police garage thing, so we're not going to touch that.
14, Mr. Previn, you signed up for items 14, 18, 19, and 20.
14 is obviously the Chatsworth Business Improvement District, and my initiative recently has been, could these business improvement districts, this is an Englanders district, this has been around for many years, they do an excellent job of supplementing the security in the area, and the question has come up, could we, as a city, collect the $8 million back from Taser International, who offers this program to anybody signing up for the body cams? We, as you know, sir, are big in that department, and of course they don't apply exactly to the bid, but all the LAPD, and we would just like to get more patrol. So if we can get that money and hiring some officers, which I know we're working on, that would be, that would really make the public feel fantastic. And item 20 is similar. It's about This one, obviously, most folks have no clue. It's technically, we're transferring $1 million within the LAPD. So what's wrong with that? We're taking it from the overtime sworn section to the accumulated overtime section, sir. Now, Charlie Beck was talking about the credit card and how we got about a $10 million spread on that OT. So I don't know if this is the first of the credit card. We're paying here's the thing. The Metro contract was a bad idea because all OT, even though Bonin pled with them and Krikorian pled with them, please tell us you're not going to reduce the patrols in the neighborhoods. Here we are facing enormous cutbacks in my neighborhood. My neighborhood is all bent out of shape about it, but they're greasing up the local authorities with various gifts. That's what they do. They give $2,500 to the North Hollywood PD for a backroom computer monitor is what we do to try to help. But that's not going to get us the kind of traction we need on patrols and stuff. So the last item was item 19. And here I'm flooded with memories of when Mr. Marquise Harris Dawson was announced that he won his election. You boldly opened it up for contributions to cover the transition costs. This is the inauguration cost for Eric Garcetti. Now, Eric Garcetti, to refresh your memory if you haven't been looking at the LA Times, has been papered all over the place as the poster guy for C, which you and all of your crew have supported. But I must tell you, sir, to be reaching out for more donations to cover anything for a guy who was raised in his own campaign and office, so much money that it really defies the imagination how they could come forward and do so. But at least you've done what you were going to do before, which is if they do donate, they will be posted prominently, which becomes a badge of honor when you're giving to the mayor. So we look forward to large contributions for the inauguration from Caruso, et al., all the treasured partners, and then we'll cover that inauguration and make it a spectacular event, hopefully as nice as the LA Times Bowl, which, by the way, is ongoing through the end of the month, sir. We just had the kickoff over the weekend.
Let's give him his general public comment minute.
General public comment is going to be very brief. It's going to be 60 seconds, sir. And I just want to once again thank Mr. O'Farrell, because O'Farrell has been extremely diligent in understanding now his team, Jeannie Min and all the others have got it. They get it. They get that $3,000 was excessively contributed by Mr. I think it's Lior Masaborski, just a run-of-the-mill developer with about a dozen LLCs in Hollywood. He was a little perky about donating to O'Farrell during the 2013 campaign, as one would be, because O'Farrell and he were aligned in many things. And then he got caught excessively contributing. So you don't know anything about that because you're always right on the money. But these guys went a little high on the treasured love. So now, Mr. O'Farrell, we've asked him nicely if he gets it. He's going to try to give back the $3,000. We hope. We can't speak for the council member. The only one who speaks for the council member is the council member, and that's why we look forward to hearing from him. And I certainly look forward to getting beyond this one because it becomes it's awkward to keep saying it over and over again, and I think people are tired of it, and we all are. So let's just clean up the mess, just like Nuri Martinez and Hurtado, who's doing a great job on the trash.
Thank you. Why don't we move now to Mr. Walsh? Mr. Walsh, you have 13, 14, 15A, 16, 18, 19, and 20, and then your general public comment.
John Walsh, blogging at HollywoodHighlands.org, speaking to you from the City Hall fire trap. Number 13, this is Water and Power Commissioners, 150 megawatts of geothermal energy. You're buying it from Nevada. We have to buy our energy from Nevada. Number 14, there'll be no discussion of it. Is Chatworth BID, and this is an enormous amount of money, a waste of time. 15, this is REAP, Rent Escrow Project. You do a good job on that. Number 16, you do a good job. I give you credit. Sale of real estate property, Albany Street. Who knows what that's going to be? Who was the favored person there? Number 17, that is managed pipelines. All the pipes are bursting. If there's a pipe in LA, it has either burst at UCLA or is about to burst. And what are you interested in? The goddamn Olympics. Number 18, this is California Independence. operator imbalance market implementation agreement. You don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. Only the person who's going to get some money in their pocket knows what that means. Number 19. Oh, this is very important. This is funding Mayor Eric Garcetti's inauguration activities. Look what it says. It doesn't tell you how much money we spent on inauguration, and the LA Times doesn't care, because the LA Times put in $25,000. $25,000 into it. And if that's a lie, challenge me. The LA Times put $25,000 into the inauguration of activities. Any unspent cash gifts on hand after payment of all costs will then go to the Summer Night Lights program, which has all of the mayor's friends running things. Okay, you can take your 25 seconds and
Let's
shoot
give him
it
his
out.
minute.
Okay, Friday at 10:30 a.m., we had a major fire in this building. It was reported by only one TV station. You can go to the tape of Friday's meeting at 10:30, and you can hear the fire alarm. And you know what these people up here did? They did nothing. They sat there with their finger up their ass. We all could have been killed. What are the details? The fire started in the microwave. There were flames. After about 20 minutes, a reporter leave the building. And also the warning to leave the building was only in goddamn English, because you don't give a fucking shit about any other people except white people. And that includes you, Mr. Price. Stay awake. At least stay awake. We're talking about we want shit.
Okay, Ms. McAllister. And on her, I have items 15A, 16, 19, and then general public comment.
Yes, item 15, we have only 3 homes that are having the liens lifted. When since January, you've put about 3,000 liens on people's houses. Most of them are black people. I want black people off Skid Row. If anybody should be on Skid Row, it should be these 10 million illegal aliens in California, 15 million rather, of which 10 million are in Los Angeles. I can't hear, Mr. President, all these people around here talking over me, these council people. Also, you have a penalty of 250% for people who are delinquent and fixing their homes. That's usury. We want them all to be brought down to 15%. Number 16, foreclosing on properties, then you're selling them above market value. That's number 16. I think that you're selling it above market value because some of you are pocketing the proceeds, okay? Number 17, allocating more money for projects that the city has been working on for years. I think that's a scam. I've been seeing these projects, I've been coming here about 3 years. These projects have been on here 2-3 years ago, and you still padding them up with millions more. Every time I look in, give them $1 million, $2 million, $3 million more. It's nothing but a scam. Now, number 19, Garcetti's inauguration event, it should not be held because Garcetti will be jailed and forced out of office for harboring illegal aliens. We also need a financial audit investigation of the city of Los Angeles. I think there is mass embezzlement with Mayor Garcetti and this council. I think the embezzlement is especially occurring in the housing department and the police department. Number 20, police have over $1 billion in their budget. There is no need for overtime. What are they doing overtime for? We haven't had any riots or anything.
Mr. President, the speaker does not have a card on item 20.
Okay, just get back on the item, Ms. McAllister. Go ahead.
20. I'm on 20. What is she? Don't
Just
interrupt me.
Go ahead.
Okay, police have over $1 billion in their budget. There is much.
You don't have 20.
There's no 2,000. I know you used it. That's the 2016.
No, Ms. McAllister, you have 19. No. Wait. No, you. Go ahead.
I'm still on 20, and you're interrupting me. Los Angeles has had no riots. I don't know where overtime is needed. They're not arresting any illegal aliens. You're a sanctuary city. So where do you need to put another $1 million in the police transferred over into the police budget. I don't see whether we need any more money for the police. They haven't been doing anything. Doing what? Who are they protecting? People on Skid Row? So come on now. I see a lot of shady stuff going on, and that's one reason why you want sanctuary. You're raping our children. That's with SB 1322, where it's now legal to rape, sodomize, and dismember children. So I don't think we should be transferring anything over to the police department. They had $1 billion in 2015. Now, what my public
Let's give
comment,
her a general comment. Minute. Hold
in
on
my
one
public
second.
comment,
Go ahead.
Based on my research, I think the embezzlement and stealing is also happening in the Los Angeles school system. Remember, LAUSD's school population is 80% illegal aliens. You can go to their website. 70% are Latino, 6% are Asian. And according to the media, Asians are the second largest illegal alien group in California. So if you have 80% of the kids in the school in Los Angeles, which is the second largest school district in the nation, who are living in the housing? The illegal aliens. Their children are in our schools. I am California no longer is a tax base. That's why they're taxing us. These illegals are not paying any taxes, so they're going to try to get it from us. I'm waiting on President Trump to send the tanks and the military into California. I want Governor Brown arrested, Garcia arrested, and all of these other politicians, especially in this chamber. We want you arrested and put in the penitentiary, and I will come and visit you.
Okay, let's go to Mr. Spindler. Mr. Spindler, you have items 13, 14, 15, and item 20, and then your general public comment.
Good. Go ahead.
Yes, so to confuse the city attorney because he's a jackass, I will begin in inverse order. So let's see. Number 20, we're going to pay down police banked overtime. Yay! Yes, I agree with Craig Lally. Lally, get your adverb here. Yes, he's the head of the LAPPL. He went to Mayor Garcetti. He said to Mayor Garcetti, I want $1 million to give the LAPD to bank overtime. And Garcetti said, okay, you can have anything you want, Mr. Lally, because I'm gay, and you will destroy my career by exposing me as a homosexual, so I'll give you the $1 million. Yes. And I think that's good, because only in this room we will keep the secret that Mayor Eric Garcetti is...
Stay on the subject. Stay on the subject.
We're keeping it in the house. Yes.
Very good.
Okay. Well, turn the fucking page.
All right, okay.
Okay, now we get to 19, yes. 19 is the Marquise Harris Dawson Mayor Eric Garcetti second term inauguration, sponsored by Council District number 8. Thank you very much to the councilman for spending $500,000.
Mr. President, the speaker doesn't have a card for item 19.
But we're holding the party at CD 8 for Mayor
Okay, then
Eric
you have
Garcetti.
15. You have 15, Mr. Spindler. You didn't put 19, so go to 15,
okay.
14, or 13. Thank you, Madam City Attorney.
Now, you say thank you for that. She kept you on topic.
Thank you, bitch.
Now, come on. You got to stop that.
Look,
okay?
that's not. You're not on. You're not on topic. Let's go to his general public comment. You have 1 minute. Go ahead.
I'm going to put you down. God damn it. Anyway, sorry about that. I'm trying to correct him. All right. Proposition C. Fucking. Okay. Vote no on Prop C. No on Proposition C. The ACLU, 100% correct. We need to listen to the people. Vote no. Eric Garcetti wants Prop C. He spent $500,000 in the LA Times in propaganda spending the last 3 years, but the LA Times came out against it. Vote no. Finally, CD1, yes. Vote for Gil Garcetti for re-election. No on that other fucking racist that's running against him, the bicycle racist Nazi cocksucker. We don't need to know who he is. CD1, Gil Garcetti for re-election. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Let's pull up Mr. Herman. Mr. Herman, you have cards on 13, 14, 15 ABC, and then you have 16, 18, 19, and 20.
Morning. Isn't it a shame? Isn't it a shame on item 13 we have water and power, but yet Ms. Nuri the other day ranted about her personal point on it. Then we go into item, fuck that one too. Let me go to the next one. Communication of water and power again, relative to adopt a resolution. But a system operator under this, it's not worth it. I'll skip it. What were my other items, sir? 19, you said, right?
Yes, you go ahead.
Now that we all know that Nuri, the grand jury, has a pedophile living in her district,
That's not item 19.
the resolution by Wesson and Englander and Martinez relative to funding the mayor, Eric Garcetti, for the second fucking longest term, inauguration and activities. For what? What transparency? A sanctuary city? You sat on this panel all this time, Mr. Mayor. You did not one goddamn thing to satisfy a second term, let alone an inauguration celebration. So, to accept gifts by donors like Steve
Soboroff, the police commissioner, you see, Soboroff is bipolar. He doesn't know what a gift is. As a developer, you give lots of gifts to pad your wallets, but Mayor Garcetti accepts it.
then to authorize the controller. Who the hell's the controller? He doesn't say the truth, that we're in a deficit because of our mayor. And yet we continue to request the controller to process and request a disturbance and submit to the controller a design suitable representation. Gotcha. For the purpose of receipt and such request for a disturbance? No, a disbursement. And yet, sanctuary cities and all you dumbass politicians still haven't made a disbursement of how to protect wetbacks in this country. So, Eric, our Mayor Garcetti, you're nothing more but a second-term inauguration activity loser.
Okay, let's give him his minute. Mr. Herman, your minute.
So now that we all know that Nuri Martinez has a pedophile in her district and she's done not one goddamn thing other than to listen to that fucking fool Zimmerman. Oh yeah, I'm all about the kids. I want to help the kids. Well, help the fucking kids. Help the disabled kids in LAUSD, you stupid schmuck. Because like the fine young lady here said, LAUSD is full of pedophiles. Sexual criminals, crimes against our children. Like you, Englander.
What did he say?
Like you, big ears.
What did he say?
Like you, the Dibble Dwarf. Fifth place loser. Stop sexual harassment, you and that dumb fat fuck bald weezer. Because this is my First Amendment, this is my 14th Amendment, and I'm exercising under 42 USC to say, fuck you!
Okay, thank you. Okay, I think we have a couple of more general public comment cards or that just came in. Okay, Susan Roca and Leslie Nolan, please come forward. Identify yourself. Lindsay, I'm sorry.
My name is Susan Rocha, and I'm asking that you stop the city attorney program that allows new attorneys to come in and give free services in exchange for some experience and kudos on their resume. The LA City Attorney prosecuted me maliciously for a crime that I did not commit. I went to a jury trial, full jury trial, because church members lied and said I did something I didn't do. A jury within minutes came back with not guilty. Of course, because it never happened. It was total lies. And shame on Divine Savior Catholic Church members for making up stories to shut me up. My First Amendment right was taken away because I stand on the corner with a sign by myself, just me, my sign, and my voice, about their noise. So they've taken me to court twice, and they lost twice.
Thank you. Thank you. So if I could get Lindsay Nolan, please come forward. Your time has expired, ma'am, Ms. Rocha. So if I could get Ms. Nolan, please come forward. Yes, Mr. Koretz, before you start. Yes. Ms. Koretz?
Just for the record, Mr. Spindler has been gesturing and yelling out from the audience for about half an hour now, and through interrupting every single public speaker.
So this is your last warning.
Well, Mr. Herman has made some goat noises in the audience as well. So.
Thank you. So your last warning. Okay, no, Mr. Spindler, do not disrupt the meeting. Okay, Ms. Nolan, the floor is yours.
My name is Lindsay Nolan. I'm here on behalf of LA County Bike Coalition and the Vision Zero Alliance, and I'm here to say that we saw what happened to the budget last Friday, that pretty much all of the funding for Vision Zero has been cut. We find this disgraceful, shameful, and just an outrage that the little money that is there is going to be going to PD and enforcement, to a department that hasn't been supportive to the Vision Zero Alliance, that hasn't listened to us, that won't pledge to a no racial profiling pledge like the city of Portland did. The money that we're not giving to Vision Zero is going to directly affect the lives of many people in our city, and we're just disgusted, and we're really disappointed. We're going to be here all week, and we want to see more money going to Vision Zero.
Thank you, ma'am. Okay, that concludes general public comment and multiple. So that is concluded. Let's now vote, Madam Clerk, on items 11, 13, 14, 15, and 16. So on those items, if you would please open the roll, close the roll, tabulate the vote.
13 ayes.
Now let's move on and vote on items 18, 19, and 20. So let's open the roll, close the roll, tabulate the vote.
13 ayes.
That brings us where?
Mr. President, Council has motions for posting and referral.
The motions are posted and referred. Mr. Krikorian.
President, can we send item 20 urgent forthwith, please?
Okay, let's vote on the urgent part on item 20. Let's open the roll, close the roll, tabulate the vote.
13 ayes.
Okay, again, now, announcements, members?
Mr. President, real quick, there has been a change. Item 17 it has been continued not to May 23rd, but tomorrow, and that would be May 17th, sir.
Thank you. So that brings us to adjourning.
Yes, Mr. President.
Could I ask all members, all of the people that are with us today, would you please rise for adjourning motions? Please rise. Can we close that? Can we close that door? Sorry. Members, I don't know how I'm going to do this, but I am going to try. I am proud and glad that we've all risen to adjourn in the memory of Emory Louvel Rand III, my dear friend, classmate, and fraternity brother. We attended Lincoln University. And for those of you that don't know, Lincoln University was the first black college in this country that was given the authority to issue graduation certificates. And we were all very proud to go to this great university. We had some great role models that attended Lincoln before we did, like Thurgood Marshall, the great lawyer for the NAACP and the first black man to ever be selected to sit on the United States Supreme Court, and Cab Calloway, the great band leader, Melvin Tolson. Many of you may have saw the movie The Great Debater. Well, he was the instructor that taught a small black school in Texas, and they debated against some of the colleges that were just renowned throughout the world. We produced 2 presidents of African countries and prime ministers, and the first female rear admiral for the United States Navy, and I was really looking forward to this weekend because I will not be with you members on Friday. I will be headed to my college, because if you look up notable graduates from Lincoln University, you will this week see my name. I am going to receive the highest honor that my university can bestow on an individual, and I was really looking forward to seeing so many of the people that I went to school with. And the one thing that I do know is that I will not see Emory. I would not be where I am today if it weren't for my classmates. They were the smart ones. They were the hard workers, and they wouldn't let me slack off. And they kept pushing me and pushing me and pushing me. So I'm honored to receive this award. But I'll never forget one morning we had a dignitary from California coming to our school to speak before the school, and he was a member of our fraternity. So they put together an escort committee. It was 6 of us. I didn't want to go. Emory and the gang banged on my door, and they made me go to escort this guy. His name is Ron Dellums. He was the mayor of Oakland and one of the most progressive Congress people we've had in this great country. And they made me go, and if you come up to my office, there's a photograph of 6 of us and him. And the moment that photograph was taken, that day that this man came to the school, members, is when my entire life changed, because that's when I was inspired to become a public servant. I can tell you the moment that my life changed, and Emory is in that picture standing beside me. He graduated from Lincoln University with a degree in history. He went on to Howard University, where he got his Juris Doctorate. He worked as a special assistant to a Republican governor. I think the guy's name was Martin. And Emory had the biggest and the best afro that I had ever seen in my life. The women on campus were envious of his fro. It would swirl, right, and jet black. He married Ravonda Dalton, has 2 kids and 3 grandchildren. He was a very religious man. He became a minister. His entire life was about public service and giving back. He worked with nonprofit agencies, and lastly, he was a mediator. He took his skills in government and his skills in education and his skills as a minister and just helped hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people. He was the president of the Alpha Phi Alpha fraternity chapter in his town of Charlotte, and he will be missed. And I just want to say this to each and every one of you, and I know I've said it at least once before. This was unexpected. I had hoped to hang out with him. On that photograph of the 6 of us, I tell you, it's a trip. The 6 of us, that photo is almost 40 years ago. Only 4 of us are alive. So it puts you in touch with your own mortality. The death was unexpected. And I say to each and every one of you, the only thing we can count on is this moment in time, is this second. Tomorrow is not promised. So again, this might be corny, but if there's somebody that you care about, you need to really let them know. So I want to say to all of the great staff in this building, from our sergeants to Sharon in the CLA's office to the CAO, that I truly appreciate you and everything that you do for the residents of this great city. To my colleagues standing around this horseshoe without pause or hesitation, I love you from the bottom of my heart. Even when we disagree, even when we are at odds, I want each and every one of you to know how much I care and respect you. To the guys on this council, you are my boys. And I brag about you suckers all the time. And to Nuri, you are like the sister I have never had. And I love you, and I would do anything for you. So before this day ends, to each and every one of you that can hear my voice, get on your phone and you text somebody and you let them know that you appreciate them. You email somebody that you love. You call your mama. You go see somebody that you care about and you let them know that you care about them. Because one day you are not going to be able to do that. One day, you're going to wish that you could say, hey, Mom, I love you, what you're doing, and you won't be able to do that. So do that today, in this moment that the Lord has given to each and every one of us. And I want to thank you again for rising and adjourning in the memory of a great man in Emory Louvelle Rand III. Thank you. No more adjourning motions. This meeting's adjourned.